A vampire, in popular legend, is a creature, often fanged, that preys upon humans, generally by consuming their blood. Vampires have been featured in folklore and fiction of various cultures for hundreds of years, predominantly in Europe, although belief in them has waned in modern times. Creatures with vampiric characteristics have appeared at least as far back as ancient Greece, where stories were told of creatures that attacked people in their sleep and drained their bodily fluids. Tales of walking corpses that drank the blood of the living and spread plague flourished in medieval Europe in times of disease, and people lacking a modern understanding of infectious diseases came to believe that those who became vampires preyed first upon their own families. Research from the 20th and 21st centuries has posited that characteristics associated with vampires can be traced back to certain diseases such as porphyria, which makes one sensitive to sunlight, tuberculosis, which causes wasting, pellagra, a disease that thins the skin, and rabies, which causes biting and general sensitivities that could lead to repulsion by light or garlic. Vampire myths were especially popular in Eastern Europe, and the word vampire most likely originates from that region. Digging up the bodies of suspected vampires was practiced in many cultures throughout Europe, and it is thought that the natural characteristics of decomposition, such as receding gums and the appearance of glowing hair and fingernails, reinforced the belief that corpses were in fact continuing some manner of life after death. Also possibly contributing to this belief was the pronouncement of death for people who were not dead. Because of the constraints of medical diagnosis at that time, people who were very ill or sometimes even very drunk or in coma or in shock were thought dead and later miraculously recovered, sometimes too late to prevent their burial. Belief in vampires led to such rituals as taking corpses through the heart before they were buried. In some cultures, the dead were buried face down to prevent them from finding their way out of their graves. Though not the first literary representation of vampires, Bram Stoker's Dracula, published in 1897, is arguably the most important work of vampire fiction. The tale of a Transylvanian count who uses his supernatural abilities to cause havoc in England inspired countless works thereafter. In the 20th century, Anne Rice's novel Interview with the Vampire, published in 1976, notably introduced the world to the vampires that were brooding and self-loathing and squabble like humans. Vampires became mainstream after Dracula was published. Since then, Count Dracula's legendary persona has been the topic of many films, books, and television shows. Given the fascination people have with all things horror, vampires, real or imagined, are likely to continue to inhabit the earth for years to come.